Eduardo, and your full name or your name.
Eduardo Humanes.
And you've just come in out of the noise to get into the quiet, and we want to talk about your experiences in Jersey, because I know you write a lot about discrimination on Facebook and such like. Have you experienced discrimination in Jersey?
Personally, no, okay. Just, there is a feeling when you come as an immigrant and you feel a bit discriminated, the fact of the 5 years law, the qualifications. You feel like, okay, I'm paying taxes, but I'm not having the full rights. But that's a completely different debate. And I can understand where they come from, because it's a small island, it's a very tiny island, and you don't want to overpopulate it. I can understand that. But that feeling sits in there. Now, personal discrimination, never felt it. The occasional person that disagree with you and tell you that there is a vote in the morning found it. I saw a lot, quite a bit with the Portuguese people. I remember they used to be called porcos.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they realize or not, but porco in Portuguese is pig. So they were calling these people pigs.
They don't complain a lot though, do they?
No.
But of course now there is a law, they can complain if they want.
But I have seen in the last few years that it has died. Probably in his own stupidity, because Portuguese community is now completely integrated, around. People is marrying Portuguese girls, women are marrying Portuguese men. There's third generation Portuguese people here. So it has died on his own stupidity. But 10, 15, 16 years ago, it shocked me.
Just to put it into context, now you're from Spain. Now in Spain, as I know nothing very much about Spain, but there's a lot of Basques and Catalonians. There are lots of very autonomous areas in Spain. Is there a sort of a petty racism that goes on? If, I'm a Basque, I need different treatment.
That's a very complex situation, because Spain as country, as concept, it doesn't start to be considered in the 19th century. Also, the unification of the two big crowns, Aragon and Castilla, is in the 15th century. Till the 19th century, we're still having kingdoms. The kingdom of Seville is still existing in the 19th century as an administrative entity. So the concept of being Spanish is quite...
It's a bit like, I'm English, but the Scots hate me, the Welsh hate me, the Irish hate me.
And then in Basque Country and Catalonia, the other two main areas where there is a strong sense of independentism, they have even different languages. Catalan is a Latin language. Basque, we don't even know the origin.
Right.
It's a quite weird situation. So that feeling. Now, you asked me about petty racism. Yes, there is some petty racism in some of these independentist people. Some of the radical independentists in Basque Country and Catalonia hate the Spanish, and used to say that we are lazy, that we are the rest of the Spanish, especially the ones that come from the south. The south, Andalusia, where I come from, is the poor part of the country. We are the immigrants, we are the Irish of the land. So there is lots of us working in Catalonia. Everybody got family working in Catalonia, and they are this kind of,
If I went to live in some part of Spain today, would I experience prejudice, you think?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so, because you are white and Anglo-Saxon.
Right.
If you were Moorish, Arab, black, gypsy and poor, probably.
Now that's interesting, because the Moors have got a big part of the Spanish history. They were there, but that's past, that's gone.
Yes, the Islamic country that was, when the Arabs with Tariq came into, in 711, cross the strait and get into Spain, with the Iberian Peninsula in 711, they came, most of the people that came with, the elite were Arab, but the most of the people that came were Moorish, were Berbers. And there is a long tradition of Islamic, because you must consider that they came in 711 and they left in 1492. is 7 centuries of
So there must be a
Islam.
lot of Spanish people who can say traced my Moorish ancestry.
Yeah,
They must
yeah,
say.
yes,
And are they
yes.
proud of that, or was it?
There is that's as well. There can be more lots, but the problem is that in 16th century, Moorish and Jews were expelled.
Right.
Everyone that was not Christian was expelled from the country, but it's literally expelled. You know the Sephardis. The Sephardis were the Jewish that were
Right.
expelled from Spain.
Right.
So the DNA is a bit.
It's just that in this context, this little island, I mean, it's very difficult to know where so-called local people actually come from. Now, some will say, oh, we're Normans, we came from Norman France, but it's a very long time ago.
But it's normal. Any society is not pure line society. Every society is evolve and grow with internal and external influx. People that come from outside develop that society. When they talk about our way of life is not something cast in stone. The way of life 40 years ago is not the way of life of
No,
now.
exactly.
It's full of internal and external influences. So when you say that you want to preserve a way of life, you want to live in the past. You
Well,
want to live in the future.
we were sitting outside just now to the noise, but the statue there is King George. Well, King George was German. Now he's the king. He's the king of Britain, or was the king, but he was accepted. I mean, the royal family is still now very German. It is that's the nature of it. And we accept those sort of
Saxus
things.
Gotha was the surname till the First World
Exactly.
War.
But all of a sudden, we're having huge problems, so it seems, in some people's minds, because there are a lot of people from Syria, Afghanistan, and these countries supposedly want to move out of those countries. Obviously, they do because they got great troubles there.
So I can understand. I could completely understand some concerns, and especially in such a small space, about numbers of people coming in. I completely understand, and I understand that we don't want this became Hong Kong. Build this, lots of people. We don't want and I don't want that. I understand that there is a need for a regulation of the amount of people that get into the island, because just for a physical matter. However, is all this first because these people belong to a different religion and to a different race, or is this because the numbers?
Well, we don't know who they are because they're not identified particularly. They're just people from Syria or people from Afghanistan. What their actual details are, we haven't got a clue.
That's